Debt.com just finished our 5th annual medical debt survey. And what we found was that medical debt among Americans is the highest that it's been in the past 5 years. What do you think is causing this problem, and how can we solve it?
One of the major problems is insurance doesn't cover as much as it used to. A lot of companies that offer insurance have higher deductibles. Obamacare, which was a great idea, their base plan has a $10,000 deductible before they start paying for anything. That's a problem. So you got to hit $10,000 in debt before you get any relief. With inflation, all costs are going up, and people are paying medical bills last instead of first. And frankly, that's because medical bills, typically they don't harass you. They don't call you as much. They may send you a bill once in a while, but they're not as aggressive as a credit card company will be, your car payment, mortgage payments. So they're down on the totem pole. The other part is affordability. If you go to a medical provider these days, they charge you the book rate. I have a doctor friend. He gets paid by the insurance company $300 for the same procedure that he charges his patients without insurance $3,000. That's a massive difference. And consumers are just stuck. Now, there's a lot of things consumers can do, including going through and negotiating with their medical providers, and they're willing to work with you on that. And I've done that personally for certain things. That being said, there's only certain limitations. They'll also take payments. So if you don't have the money, pay something every month, whether it's $5 or $10. As long as you pay something, they'll cash that check, I promise you. And it may not be what they want, but they will cash that check. They will leave you alone. The other benefit recently from medical debt is that there's not a reporting worry that you have, because medical debts are not reported on credit reports for the first couple of years. I forget the exact timing, but before, if you were late on a medical debt, they put it on your credit report. Now, they can't put it on your credit report for a while at least.
Well, that's good, especially since we also found that millennials have felt the biggest impact of this medical debt. They feel like it's keeping them from future life goals. It's going to impact their credit score. They're putting it on credit cards. What advice would you give a millennial who's currently going through all this medical debt fear on how to manage their medical debt, or if they have too much and they don't exactly know what to do, where to go? How can we help combat this?
They have to know where they're going. So they have to have it laid out. And if you have a medical issue, it's not one bill, it may be 10 bills. So you have to figure out what insurance is covering, if you have insurance, and what it's not. That's the first step. Then the remainder, and you could go to a credit counseling company and talk to them, or you can do it yourself, which is pretty easy. Again, you can go through and make any payment you want to these medical providers. And there's a big difference if insurance is covering some and this is just the leftover from the insurance company. But as long as you pay something every month, they're not going to go after you. They're not going to report you. Even if they say, I want $100 a month from you, the medical provider, and you only can afford 10, send them 10. The other thing is you can go and look online for a medical advocate, because you need to go through and look at the bills. These bills are complicated, and there's a lot of overcharging going on in the medical field. And frankly, the neophyte, the young millennial, is not going to know what these charges are all about. And frankly, most likely a doctor wouldn't know why these charges are being assessed.
A lot of them don't.
No, they don't. It's just being assessed by a computer. And it may be a fat fingers, a keyboard, error.
It might be.